Alright, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, old boy Kev, back at it again with the video game shenanigans. And today we're gonna be talking about one of my favorite games to play. It's a game called Warframe, and I think this was one of the first games that I had downloaded on my PS4 when I had first bought it. It was like 2, 3 years ago, but back then, I didn't have bread like that, so free to play games was pretty much like my only option at the time. So, and for a free to play game, I'm gonna be honest with you, Warframe it goes above and beyond for just the material and the content that it brings forth. And I'm in touch with I'm in touch with a lot of the things and the controversy that go on in the Warframe community, and I do agree with most of the things that are being said about the game. It can be better, and it has a lot of potential. A lot of potential. I feel like if Warframe truly like stepped up and did the things that I know they can do as a developer, uh, it could probably be one of the best games in ever. Cause it has like it's just so many it's a lot of things that just benefited as a game. So like customization, variety, and just replayability value. And as a new player, or I mean, I'm a veteran now because I've played this game for years on end. But I remember though, as a new player, it was like I'd be like 80 years old by the time I'm done getting all the stuff in the game done. And that was the feeling I got when I had first started playing this game, because it was like it was so much to do as a new player coming in. There were so many things to try out, and just so many avenues I could go down, and so many things. It was a lot of things that I could collect and strive towards and build, and you know, and I feel like if you could capture that in a new player, then that's a sign of a really well built game. And I think where Warframe starts to fall short is maintaining that feeling of, man, there's so much that I still need to do, or maintaining that feeling of, striving towards a goal, or let me see, like strict, like it like during the long term, the long term shit. I'm gonna edit that out. But fuck. Shit. But like the I feel like the long term players in the Warframe, they suffer a whole lot more than the new players, or the players that have only been in Warframe for maybe like a few months or maybe a year even. I feel like veteran players like such as myself, we start to suffer the longer we play, because the longer we play, we the more we realize that there's really nothing else to do but just grind for the same items and the same fashion, or like uh like it's just the same things that we get out of it, and which is like it becomes to get like stale. And I think that's where Warframe begins to fall off. So overall, I think it's a like I'd say from a 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7.5. I'd give it a 7.5, because like I said, it's a great game when it comes to like players just starting out and looking for a new experience. it can hold, a player's captivity for, it can hold a player's attention for a good amount of time. It's a really good game for just, blowing off time and just, passing through the times and just keeping you busy. But at the same time, well, like once you begin to really just get past all, like, the major things and the storyline, and once you get caught up with everything, you start to realize that there's not a whole lot to do. And for a live, what is it? Like for a, a live game where they're constantly updating it and, keeping it up to date, because the DE, the developer of this game, as far as I know, this is the only game that they're working on right now. As far as I know, I may be wrong, but yeah, Warframe is the only game they have and the only game they've been updating for, I think, 6 plus years, 6 7 plus years now. And if, like, if you've been continuously updating the same game for that long, you would, in theory, you'd be, efficient at it by now. And I think that's where DE just falls off, because as a developer, like, when you've been developing the same game, you start to catch a rhythm, right? Or like if you play one instrument for a long amount of time, you start to get the feel of it, and you get accustomed to it, and you have, like I said, you have a rhythm, you got a schedule, and uh and I understand that, things happen, like, especially times right now, like COVID-19 and the world going on lockdown and all that, plays a part in a whole lot of this. But even before then, DE has been struggling to just keep, like, content pumping, and, just keep the player base, you know, just keep the player base's attention. And that's where, like, the game really starts to, that's where the game starts to lose its support, and it just loses, like, it loses steam. But I still believe in the game. I still believe it has a lot of potential. And I believe that, like, if the devs can just get that rhythm back, and they can, they just they just go about the game and developing the game a different way that can, suit, you can't really um make everybody happy, because that's just impossible. That You can't make everybody in the world happy. You can't make everybody in your player base happy. But I feel like for the majority of the fan base for Warframe, they're pretty much saying the same thing. And from what I'm hearing, and I've heard this from Life of Rio, Magamu, DK Diamantes, and even Quiet Shy. Uh, they all really say the same thing, that Warframe just, it needs to do better with content output, and I agree with them. And it's just like I said, for new players, they're not really affected, but 3 or 4 years down the line, it's gonna start catching up with you. And you know, one of the biggest arguments is, like, veteran players play another game, and, I can understand that, but also you gotta understand, we do play other games, but for someone who's dedicated, most of their, or a lot of their time to a game like Warframe, you start to, like, it's like a love hate relationship. You want to see Warframe do well, but when they don't, when they slip up, you gotta get on them for it, because you want to see them do well, and that's where the veterans are at, and the new players, they're still, in the honeymoon phase of, the game. So obviously there's nothing wrong with them. So of course they're going to get mad at us veterans for wanting the game to be better and do better with content output, and just general, things that they are slipping on right now. And, I think once we bridge that misunderstanding and bridge that gap as a community, we could really start seeing changes in not just the developers, but like, even YouTubers and just the whole community in general. And yeah, that that's pretty much that's really all I gotta say. That like I said, it's a good game. It has a lot of potential. It just needs, it just needs to have like a more focused goal, I think. I feel like the developers just need to, because they're going all over the place and, you know, it's just going in so many directions. I just think they need to focus, like just align themselves to one thing or just to one, like, schedule of content. And like Nightwave, for example. That's consistent. It's like a battle pass, but it's consistent. And I think if they could just like if they could have their content put in a way like that, like Apex Legends and Fortnite. Yeah. Well, I'm getting to the end of this video, but that's really all I gotta say. I love the game. They can do better, and I hope they do better, and I'll still be here. And I'll probably release more videos on this maybe later on down the road. But that's been your boy, old boy C, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. Alright.
Destroy marked components. Marking sensitive systems. Trash the place. Missile battery internals slacked. Everyone in one piece. Let us move on. Alert. Enemy fighters have been scrambled.
Something's there. Hold it.
Fighters neutralized. Targets eliminated. Missile battery neutralized. I will notify the Ostrons. They can turn it into a rec center.